Yo, what is up, guys? It is Oracle fucking Investing here, and today we've got a crazy video for you. A crazy video. Oh, option sale, just kick us right into it.
This guy, we found a roaring kitty / deep fucking value / the emperor, the king of the low rollers, who's going to be going to federal prison for stock manipulation. He took advantage of all of these low rollers and cost them their entire fortunes. We're talking about their portfolios, these little baby portfolios that these low rollers got of $3, $4, maybe $500,000 just wiped out on GameStop. And this piece of shit roaring kitty thinks it's funny to just to push this shitty stock quote-unquote investment on these people. You gotta realize these low rollers, they do not understand anything about the market. Like, I'd hope he's joking about GameStop, right? That's what I pray that he was just joking about GameStop, because if he legitimately led these low rollers down the path of GameStop to where they're going to lose all of their money, this guy is a Mark Cuban level of shitty, sadistic, just a monster.
This guy makes Chris Sains look approachable. I mean, Technical Turtle, what have you got to say?
I mean, it's really just sad. I mean, who the low rollers choose to be their king, basically. Like, this is the king of low rollers. I mean, I'm happy that, we're legally going after this guy, cut the head off the snake. But honestly, this is just sad.
GameStop is one of the most compelling asymmetric opportunities in the market.
Oh, just right off the bat, look at this long-haired loser. I mean, what is this?
Really, I don't understand how you could disagree with that. That's why
I personally believe he may be... I think he may be like a Mark Cuban, just a sadistic guy trying to just prank the low rollers. Like, maybe he is a medium roller trying to play a prank on the low rollers, which, like I said last video, we've all been there. We've all played pranks on the low rollers, right? We remember 2008. Anyways, just think, look at how he's dressed. He's clearly trying to, appeal to the low roller by dressing like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Portfolio, and also Dr. Mike Berry's portfolio.
Oh my god, I mean, look at this. You've got the 12 heads of Soydom right here. These are the type of losers that invest in Funko Pops, these neats. They live in their mum's basement. I mean, what are they? They're probably playing...
Yikes!
They're probably playing some sort of, I don't know, card game. Like that Pokemon shit that they've all been buying. Did you see that Logan Paul spent $2 million on Pokemon? I mean, this guy really knows... This guy... No, I don't even think it's cringe, man. This guy knows how to market to low rollers. I mean, you got to give him credit where credit's due. Logan Paul is a medium roller that just absolutely takes advantage of low rollers, and I respect it for every sense. I mean, moving on to the video, gaming headsets, this is just going all downhill quickly. Let's just watch some more.
Sentiment, the market, and popular culture, many think it's a foolish investment. But everyone's wrong. It's like the Big Short again. Or more like the Big Short squeeze this time, right? Anyway, let me show you what we're seeing. Still in 2020, GameStop maintains a healthy market share within the gaming industry. It's the only major brick-and-mortar retailer dedicated to gaming, and a recent survey indicated that over 25% of people...
Brick-and-mortar's dead. Absolutely dead. That means nothing. Oh, they're a brick-and-mortar store. That's a negative on a company.
They're a failing company.
And 40% of people buy their used games there. Its reboot plan is well underway and is comprised of two main components. The first
That's like stating, they're the number one cassette retailer in the country. That's retarded. Nobody buys cassettes anymore.
Oh my goodness. This guy
these guys are the number one manufacturers of black and white televisions.
Exactly. These guys, listen, they're in a dying, maybe even a dead industry.
Was this guy bullish on Blockbuster?
First of all,
was this guy bullish on Blockbuster?
Channel experience. This will boost near-term free cash flow, which in turn can be used to finance the second, more important component, reinventing itself as a premier gaming hub within the thriving $150 billion gaming industry. GameStop's modernizing stores, partnering with vendors, and offering experiential products. This is the potential upside, and it's enormous.
Pause this. Listen, I got 4 kids. They all play their video games. They play their Fortnite. They play all their computer games on their phones and things. I don't know what they're doing. But they have never once asked me, hey, Dad, let's go into a GameStop. I want to go to the GameStop to get the games. They never done that. Nobody does that.
It's like he's completely missing the mark on how Generation Z thinks, okay? They're all, antisocial. They don't like hanging out with people. They just want to, sit in front of their computers. Anything that is social-based that is marketed to Generation Z is going to fail, doomed to fail.
Tulsa, Oklahoma, that focus on live experiential concepts. Clearly,
Oh my god! Look at this. This guy's got it. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
He's. I mean, I
Not
gotta
actually
hold on. I
close.
gotta respect the animation.
laser
Yeah,
focused
but,
on
I
gaming.
mean, like these guys they're rolling dice. Get a life.
when the chief customer
Pathetic.
wants GameStop to become the cultural center for gaming. They also teamed up with the
Show some. We all know girls don't game. I mean, what is this? This is just straight up fake media
They also
right
teamed up with the
here.
Dallas Cowboys with the GameStop Performance Center. This space was uniquely designed to be the premier facility for the next evolution of esports. Imagine a handful of these venues around the world where gamers could come together to train, perform, and just hang out. So could this new management team actually pull off the transformation? It's possible. They've been doing mostly the right things over the past year. We'll say Michael Berry's support. You're really going to question the guy who gets his haircut at Supercuts and doesn't wear shoes? Shit, I'm not. But what about the death of physical distance?
What?
Let me tell you something. People have been saying this shit for a decade.
Am I
You know
gonna
what Microsoft had to
question
say
the
about
guy
this?
who gets his hair cut at Supercuts and
Like,
doesn't
what kind
wear
of
shoes?
stupid Reddit humor is that?
That is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Michael Burry, first of all, got lucky once. He almost cost hedge funds a tremendous amount of money. He literally got lucky. That's it. He's some guy who basically won the lottery, right? You're like, oh, you're not going to trust this guy? He won the lottery. Big fucking deal. You won the lottery, dude. He got lucky once.
I thought he was
Let's see
making
if
a
he did it
joke.
again.
I thought he was making a joke.
I don't
You
know
really
if he's
think-
making
I
a
mean,
joke.
I don't think so. I mean, this guy.
This console cycle, millions of people still want discs. Period. It's a big reason these new consoles have disk drives, and that's why physical will remain a part of Microsoft's future. To be sure, the shift to digital is happening.
I mean, he's literally talking about why GameStop's a terrible investment. They're moving away from discs.
He even said it. He said people are not using discs anymore. They're using them less and less, but they're still using them. So therefore, you should it's like investing in a record store. Nobody uses records anymore, dude.
Only those-
Yeah, it's
get it
like,
off.
like the invention of the automobile. Like, oh yeah, we still have horses. This is complete retardation.
It's dumb.
Just not as quickly as many people think. It's true the pandemic may have accelerated some long-term trends, but as stores are open back up, people are buying physical discs again. And a quick reminder, at this point, GameStop sells other items besides physical discs. This helps drive traffic and will allow it to offer exclusive console bundles to its 60 million rewards members this fall. That said, the used games business
Jesus.
This is just
No,
like
nothing to say.
cringe,
No comment here.
cringe. That's
has
right.
driven the lion's share of
My
its
Hero
That's
Academia.
cool.
pretty
That's
good.
cool.
We know how Microsoft
Yeah, that's
feels about
cool.
physical. Now let's check in on Nintendo. In their latest pandemic-ridden quarter, a whopping 44% of game sales were still
What does Nintendo have to do with GameStop, you freaking idiot?
physical. And this is huge for GameStop.
I mean, you can't. I mean, comparing the Japanese market to the American gaming market is like comparing
It's apples
oranges
to oranges.
apple. Yeah, I
dude.
mean, yeah.
Exactly.
It's just like it's ridiculous. They're a
No,
totally
it's
different
not
society.
like it's even bigger than that. It's not like comparing apples to oranges. It's like comparing oranges to the company Apple. That's how far apart we're talking, guys.
I mean, this is
They're
totally
not even
different.
close.
Anime is I mean, in Japan, anime is a mainstream culture. It's unbelievable. These guys are 40 years down the line.
Exactly.
And you don't see GameStop in Japan.
The Japanese are on an ascended tier of thinking, okay? Like, you cannot compare the two markets. The demographics that occupy them are just completely different.
It's like saying, oh, Apple's gonna start selling a bunch in Africa. No, they're not, because they don't have they don't have the lower class or the low rollers to even buy the Apple phones. They've just got a bunch of no rollers there. It's disgusting. I mean, this
Honestly,
is terrible.
Africa is filled with no rollers. Africa is solely a place of high rollers and no rollers. There's no in between. I've been there. We remember that party we went to
Yeah.
that are all those African high rollers at it.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a great time, but I mean, like, honestly, Options Al's right. I mean, you have this huge class divide. In some aspects, it's awesome, but it's not awesome for the no rollers. Let's just say that. I mean, at least in the USA, low rollers they make $200,000, $300,000, whatever. In Africa, some of the low rollers barely make 30 grand a year. 30 grand.
Because the Switch has
Imagine trying to live off 30 grand. It's impossible.
I assume its used games have as well. And in particular, Animal Crossing New Horizons was 50% physical. And after having sold over 20 million units in just a few months, that's now one of the top-selling video games of all time. So how about Sony? During the same quarter, 26% of full game sales were still physical. Now, the year-over-year decline is certainly notable, but two things here. First, as stores reopen and new consoles roll out, this figure will likely bounce and stabilize for a few years. And second,
Only
the 26% physical share still-
26% of all sales for PlayStation were physical. Did you hear that? 26%. That's nothing.
And falling, by the way, and falling.
In the early years of the last cycle. And also, it's important to remember, this is not a zero-sum game. From April
I
to
mean,
June, video
can
game spending was
you
up
just pause it
30%
for a
year-over-year.
sec? This is just a classic example of somebody that just uses a whole bunch of like little editing graphics to make themselves look professional and
He's
know what they're talking
gerrymandered a
about.
bunch of stats to make himself look good.
He's not even really gerrymandering stats. He's literally just laying stats out there, knowing that the low rollers can't even understand what he's saying, and they're just gonna be like, "Oh, he says invest in GameStop, like this, invest in GameStop."
Look at all this thing, pretty. Oh.
But you gotta realize the low roller brain works differently. It doesn't work at the speed of a normal person, right? We're talking about the low rollers, the lowest 15 to 10% of our country. These are the people who barely graduated high school. You know, the kids when you have to read in class and they get called on, and you're like, oh, geez, this paragraph, that's going to be a 5-minute paragraph for Jimmy because Jimmy can't read, right?
Jimmy's a little slow.
These are the type of people that he is preying on, the type of people who cannot read. They can't read these fast graphics. They just hear him saying invest in GameStop. Oh, I'm going to invest in GameStop. Oh, no, I lost all my money. Sorry, honey, we got to sell the house because I lost it all. You know, this guy's an absolute piece of shit. He may be a high roller or a medium roller taking advantage of these guys, but you have a duty as a high roller and a medium roller to lift up those low rollers to take care of them because they can't take care of themselves.
Yeah, I mean, this
Yeah,
guy.
it's the high roller's burden. It's the high roller's burden.
benefit to physical, digital, and the whole damn industry. And that's why Sony and Nintendo have been boosting their expected output this year. More consoles and a much larger video game lineup than the last cycle means more software and accessory sales as well. And this is a boon to a specialized gaming retailer like GameStop, who will also benefit as the go-to destination for folks trading in old consoles and games as part of their upgrade to the new consoles. Now, obviously, this thesis is based largely on the fundamentals, but shit is
Holy moly. Holy moly, look at that graph.
increasingly compelling. And this matters because if the price breaks out, technical analysts won't even give a shit about the fundamentals, will start piling on. To add to this, GameStop is by far the most heavily shorted company in the market, with short interests around 100% of the float. 100%? Can you believe that shit? The combination of positive fundamental developments, a potentially massively bullish chart, and an exorbitant short interest suggests to me that an upward move could be explosive. Maybe. What the hell do we know?
Like, I just don't know. What is that guy wearing? To like go back?
Oh no, don't even go back. Just pause it
I mean,
right
it's
here.
gonna-
Look at him.
I mean, yeah, look
What
at this.
is
guy.
that?
What? Like, I'm not trusting anybody's investing advice that dresses like a freaking Pokemon character.
Oh, look at this long roll here of a warning. So he knows that these low rollers can't read. It's going too fast for that low roller brain.
This is just ridiculous. This guy. Sorry, guys, I just had some Doritos. They just shipped them out here, man. They're delicious. I mean, this guy's just a piece of shit. This guy's just a piece of shit. I mean, what else do I need to say?
I'm just happy he's going to prison. I'm happy that our boys at the SEC are fucking, putting him in
Yeah,
his
they're
place.
throwing the book at him. They're throwing the book.
Like, if you want to act like a low roller, you're gonna get treated like a low roller. Have fun in federal prison for 5 to 10 years.
I mean, I'm speechless on this guy. I mean, he's a Redditor for starters. He likes cats. He's got a gaming chair. Like, there's a
Get
gaming
down with
chair.
the video real quick.
He's got a gaming chair. Like, some ridiculous cat hat. I mean, I could just keep listing off why you shouldn't listen to this fuckwit.
I mean, this kid. Let's be real here. This guy is going to get destroyed in prison. I mean, that's a fact.
That's an absolute fact. And look at the title he has there: Death of Disc-Based Games. Does that make you want to invest in GameStop? No.
I mean,
This guy-
I know, but I don't have a little roller brain.
All I'm gonna say is this guy has done a good deed. I mean, in a sense, he's transferred so much wealth from low rollers to hedge funds. But I mean, this guy needs to be stopped.
Yeah, it is better for the hedge funds, the medium rollers, the high rollers to control the wealth, because the low rollers clearly, like we've seen over the last 2 weeks, they do not know what to do with any type of money. That's why we should hold their money for them and then just trickle it out. Give them like a $1,200 stimulus package every once in a while, but you don't give them a bunch of money. You just got to trickle it out to them, because if you give them too much where they can quote unquote invest it, where they have more than the bare necessities to live, like let's just give them like 100, maybe 200,000 a year to live off of, just so they have the bare necessities. That's it. I don't want to be giving them anything where they can invest in the market, because they do not have the mental capacity to invest in the market. I'm sorry. I had to put it out there. They do not have the absolute mental capacity to make decisions on their own as far as their finances go.
You know what I'm doing? I'm reporting this user.
Yeah, report him.
What are we doing?
Hate speech against a protected group. Yep, because low rollers should be a protected group. I think, right? I think those who are like less fortunate intelligently are. There you go. Get them all. That's enough. There we go.
Just
Perfect.
do to hear people.
That's option Z!